What's up, everyone? I don't know why I got half the screen. Ben's not even here. He's taking up useless real estate, which is his norm. I got the baby crying in the background. It's Don't Let the Facts Thursday edition. We're 12 minutes late. That has nothing to do with me, just so we're clear. Nothing at all. Ryan Ray alongside Ryan Ray, bringing you the hits. Why are we late? You're wondering because you've been sitting around for hours all day because Ben put this nice pretty post and said we're going to be at 3 o'clock. We're late because Ben decided to update his computer before podcast. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I do know that podcasting requires computer access. Generally speaking, you could do it from your phone, right? Or you could have two mics plugged into a recorder. But this format, the live stream, requires either a computer, an iPad, some kind of tablet, or a phone. Well, Ben, because he's a smart guy, uses his computer, whatever it is. He's gone. It's better now. And he decided to update it. Why? I'm beyond me. Probably because he didn't want to do the show. So, anyways. So here it is, you and me, and I've got my white tee on. I don't ask. I have a jacket somewhere, and I just forgot to put that back on. And so, that's trouble. Now I'm pulling a Ben Samuels here. Hold on. There we go. So anyways, so for the next, I don't know. I can't even end the live stream. That's the predicament we're in. So I'm going to turn the bat line on. I don't even know the number. I can't put it across the bottom of the screen because Ben's not here. This is a great show. People say, Ryan, why do you podcast so much with Ben? It's because of these moments. These are the moments that make me go, man, it's good to be. Oh, hey, buddy. Hey. Ben Samuels, come on down. Let's play the music. Take two. The remix. Let's do it again.
How are you?
I'm better now that you're here. With your A&M hat on.
I'm glad. I mean, if you look at this hat and you think it's an A&M hat, that says more about you as a sports fan than it does me, so I'll just let that narrative lie.
Oh, Benson. You're a funny guy.
What's going on, man? We had a good podcast a couple hours ago. Got into some stuff. I don't know. I mean, generally, I like to think so. At least I like to tell the people we did. At least, I mean,
we had a podcast. That is correct.
You don't sound like you're in a very good mood this morning. Or this afternoon? What's going on? What's the
I'm
matter?
tired, man.
What's happening?
I'm tired.
Why?
I've been a little under the weather, to be honest with you. Nothing major, but just enough where you get tired easy. You know how it is. Where it's just enough to make you go, oh, I'm tired. So, and then tomorrow night, we're going to see Sticks, me and Drew. And so.
Oh, nice. They're playing at Choctaw?
Sure.
You don't know where you're going? Okay.
You act like you see, like is this surprising to you?
It shouldn't be. No, it shouldn't be. You're right. I mean, it's a fascinating thing to be like sort of close to the sun, like watching like completely listless, says all the time, doesn't have any idea what's going on, but somehow like things work out very well. It's a
talent.
It is a talent. That is absolutely true. That is that is absolutely accurate.
Oh, gracious. Well, it's good of you to show up.
You ever have somebody that just is like ruthless with the most, minor things? Yeah.
Like just the most nitpicky stuff. The stuff that they really don't care about, they could ignore, but they continually bring it up.
So 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to have an 8:30 a.m. podcast.
Wow, we're back to that.
We had a recording.
Let the record
8:30.
5 minutes and 10 seconds spins on the fact.
I'm just throwing it out there that it's
On the
not
facts.
necessarily just a Ben thing. That's all. That's all.
This
That's
is
all.
don't let the facts right here. What it says. It's got a big X. It says don't. Like it's aggressive. How much we're not supposed to let facts. But yet you persist in the facts.
I've been waiting for you to comment on this painting for a while, but you haven't yet. Maybe it's not clear enough for you to actually see what's going on. But
What's going on?
nothing. Not important. Not important. Nothing.
Is that a zombie eating a ghost?
So I'm gonna try to do this. We'll see it. We'll see if this works well. So it's a unicorn. Can I get closer? Yeah. So it's a unicorn. You know, little gruesome, but not having a good day. And then there's a woman there. I don't know. I saw this at I think I saw this at like a farmer's market or something in Oregon one day.
I have a comment that would get me in trouble, so I will reserve judgment.
I have a comment that would get me in trouble, so I will reserve judgment. If you have made the judgment already, you're not actually reserving judgment. You're just reserving telling the people.
Well, you and the facts. Like what are we doing here? I thought this was don't let the facts. Is this let the facts, Ben Samuels?
Did you see that OBJ signed with the Rams? Apparently.
Do you ever have someone the most smallest things, the little details? Hey, I didn't see the show prep email, so where are we going today?
You ever have somebody gaslight you for like 2 years and then immediately pivot course and be like, "Hey, why haven't you caught up to me yet?" You ever had that?
No, but I've done it to someone.
You ever have someone train you for like 2 years consistently that I don't do X, and then all of a sudden, like one day, they're like, "Hey, wait, X is a really good idea. I like what you've been talking about." No.
We let the facts, not let the facts. Oh gosh.
The show is called "Don't Let the Facts." I mean,
you've been aggressively on the facts. So if we're going to be aggressively on the facts, my stance has always been the same. If you send me something to talk about, I will talk about it. Wow. I mean, that's a felony where I come from, in these parts of America. You liberal hippie defacing the dollar. How dare you?
You and I were both born felons. We've already been over this. And everybody listening, you're in the same group, so don't be looking at Ryan. He's special. You too.
I was talking to this guy the other day, from Great Britain, who lives here now, and he's new, like in the past, couple years. And so I don't know. I don't follow the immigration policy. I don't know how it works or any of that. I don't pretend to. And he was talking about something. I was like, yeah, I don't actually think that's how that works for you. And I was explaining in aggressive terms how a federal prosecutor would attack someone like him. And he's like, "You're just saying that to elicit a response." I'm like, "No. Go read 3 felonies a day and then call me." What is this, Ben Samuels painting hour? What are we doing here? Why do you hate money so much? I don't understand. What's up with the buck-toothed lips?
Unclear. So I bought this one on Amazon like last week. I thought it was going to come out very, very, very different. This will be returned back to Amazon.
That makes sense. You thought it came out very different. Like now I get it. You didn't think it was going to look like that. Okay.
On Amazon, it looked vastly different than how this showed up. I don't know. I'm.
Hey, did you fix your tiles? Did you fix your tiles, or did you just change the camera angle to hide them better? I can't tell.
Are we letting the facts or not? Are we letting the facts or not?
They look better. They look better.
Okay, I might have hung this painting up to. I might have hung the painting up to hide one of the white things, but why are we talking about it?
Well,
why does it matter?
Why
are you coming at me like that?
It looks interesting. That's all.
And you didn't even comment. Hold on, wait. You didn't even comment on how well this goes with this. It's almost like I did that on purpose. All right, I'm done now. Art show and tell is over. Sorry.
You've known me for how long now? How long?
Too long? Are you looking for an actual time? Sorry.
Yeah, an actual time.
3 years.
Okay. And in 3 years, have you known me to be an observant person about stuff like that or not observant?
Wait, are we letting the facts or are we not letting the facts? I got confused. Hold on. Wait.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm prepared either way.
So I'm going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to say what I was going to say prior because it's somewhat tangentially related to that. So some people, make a production of becoming very polished and like produce podcasts and put them out on podcast apps and make them look very good. Other people buy shit on Amazon and put them on behind them and pretend it's professional, and that's the way. So why are you coming at me like that, Ryan? I'm just trying.
Look at my podcast studio. It's got books and junk everywhere, so I think you're okay.
By the way, you definitely do need one of those green screens. Do you think they have like Saudi embassy green screens?
Yes, they do. I mean, they sent me a couple, but whatever. I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't know you were bringing it up on the podcast.
So, tangentially related. Don't know why this actually sort of reminds.
I love how you went tangentially related from your lips with the buck tooth to me getting Saudi money once again. Thank you for that.
Hold on, I'm making another leap. Hold on, I've got one more for you. I don't know if you know, but when you call me, do you know what picture shows up on my phone when you call me?
Is it my standard avatar, or did you put one on there for me?
No, it's not. It's not one that you selected.
Oh, then not. No, I have no idea.
It's you. I forget where I saw it the very first time, but it's you staring out the window in that picture for the Russian TV interview.
Yeah.
I just find it it's very regal. It's very it's very presidential of you.
I sent that to you as well. That's how you got it. I've made a screenshot and sent it to you.
That is accurate.
Unbelievable.
And within about a minute and a half, just to let you know when this happened, about a minute and a half after you sent me the screenshot, it had been placed as the profile.
It's funny, so that when iTunes or Apple asks you to update my contact, you're repetitively telling it no.
That's correct.
Like, Ryan's got new contact, and you're like, no.
I've actually done that a number of times. Yes, that is entirely accurate.
Unbelievable.
Is it though? Is it actually?
So, are you going to see Styx while they're in town or not?
I'm not that old, man. I don't even remember who Styx is. Like, who is that? I have stunned Ryan into silence. Oh, this feels good.
All the times that you give me a hard time of not being culturally aware of things, and you can't name one Styx song, not one.
Stones. And Stones. Sorry, and Stones.
Ben, why do you hate life?
No.
Why do you hate life?
I know how to spell Styx.
Spell it.
Styx.
Look at you. I'm gonna go through the list of the greatest hits from Styx.
That's not a very long list. It won't take very long.
Wow. Unbelievable. Okay, so we've got Renegade, Come Sail Away, Mr. Roboto, Too Much Time on My Hands. Huh?
I like all those songs. Those are all good.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing shade at Styx? That's legit.
Why are we doing this again today? It feels like
unclear.
It's like a bad day.
I knew as soon as the Apple update started that this podcast was a bad idea. Like and I actually don't know.
Apple was trying to spare you.
So you had about 5 or 6 minutes of like free editorial control in the front of this podcast that I have no idea what you said, and so maybe you're regurgitating, probably not, because you probably just lambasted me for that entire time. But so I had a podcast from 2:00 to 2:30.
Probably not nearly strong enough. But go ahead.
I was trying to help you. I was trying to help you there. I mean, obviously there was absolutely no question. Anyways, not important. So I go to the kitchen to get a glass of water. Come back within 3 minutes, and my computer had like started the process. And so I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I'm sorry. I'm not Ryan. It's a fundamental fatal flaw that I'm not Ryan Ray. But I'm working towards it. It's a thing. It's a whole thing, as you like to say.
Have you been following the Kyle Rittenhouse trial?
Somewhat
What are your thoughts on that?
enough to have a very firm grasp on like what I think is going on. What do
Okay,
you
what do you
think
think's going
first?
on? No, no,
No,
no.
you
I
think
asked.
first.
No, 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 no. I asked you.
But I'm always the one that has to answer first. Um,
Okay, I'll tell you what I
so
think's going on. I think the prosecutor is trying to get a mistrial.
I agree with that to an extent. I thought it was fascinating the way that the judge, just came at the prosecutor. You don't really ever see that or very often at all, unless the prosecutor is way out of bounds, and he certainly was. They had that one witness, one of the gentlemen that rushed Rittenhouse admit on the stand that the only time that Rittenhouse fired or even raised his weapon was when that guy was charging at him. I'm sorry, chasing him and raised his weapon at Kyle. And so
Yeah. You see the DA go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. There was just like, I mean, and so at this point, I think the only outcomes here are mistrial or acquittal. I mean, I don't see how you possibly get to any sort of culpability or guilt. What are your thoughts?
I
And
don't know
also,
what
by the
Crosby's
way,
talking about.
the other thing I want to get your thoughts on are how egregious it is that the FBI was sitting on that footage this entire time, and it had to be. I forget what the process of getting it public was, but I mean they had the evidence to acquit this guy. I mean I don't know if this is too strong, Ryan, but right now, as of today, I'm in the camp of this should never been these charges should have never been filed. We shouldn't be in this trial to begin with. This is I think this is as clear cut of a self defense as you can get outside of a home invasion. I mean, in terms of being out in public, I think this is as clear cut, and they had the evidence, they had the footage, they had everything at their disposal. And I say the FBI was holding it back, so so the prosecutors or the state certainly didn't, but the evidence was there, and so I don't know if that's too strong, but that's where I'm at.
So I really started following the trial yesterday or the day before. Whenever the prosecutor started crossing those lines, and I knew it was going on, but I didn't really. And I'd seen the clip of the um of the DA and the guy, the clip that you mentioned. Was that last week? But
Yeah.
it was when Rittenhouse started. Um,
Gotta throw that one up. Hold on, Crosby. Love you. I love you. That's great. It's perfect. Um, where's Clay to come throw shade at you? I
well,
appreciate it.
yeah,
The world. Well, the world's not changing. I think the world is just becoming more educated.
you might become more educated. Some of us have already been there, but
I'm
whatever.
part of the world.
That's
I'm
neither
part,
here nor there.
I'm part of the
Um,
world.
my stance on this is, aside from this case, is I think that prosecutors should be held to the highest standard, and so when they are what appears to be purposely making junior mistakes, I almost tend to agree with whatever's going on. I don't care who's right or wrong. A mistrial with prejudice, which means you can't try it again, should be thrown at them to keep them from doing that.
I mean, we've talked about the OJ trial. We've talked about the fact that the facts of that case bear one thing. The way that case was handled, the way that case was handled from the investigation on through, there was no other choice in verdict. And I think that's one of the more notorious. But I mean, I think this is wildly different. I mean, I think the case was made like I said before. I think the case was made outside of court. I don't think this should ever been introduced to the courtroom at all.
So my read of the situation at the time was it seemed to be a bunch of hype and overhype about what happened. I mean, it's tragic, some people died. I'm not trying to diminish that, but it seemed to be like, okay, hey, this is one of those things where the media's ramming a narrative.
So I agree with you that it's tragic that people died as like a baseline statement, but and this might sound really callous, but look, if you are in a situation that's already sort of volatile and you have a gun, any time that you raise that weapon at another human, you are asking for the possibility of getting killed. That's just that is a fact that I don't think is arguable.
but
Right
one of the
or
guys he
wrong,
shot didn't have a gun, though. One of the guys he killed didn't have a gun.
but he charged at him. You can't
He
you
did charge
can't
at him. Right, right, right.
so 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 then so okay. if you're in public and you're in a volatile situation and someone has an AR-15 and you're unarmed, probably shouldn't run at the guy. And good, bad, or indifferent, etc. But if you are threatening someone else's life by charging at them and they are armed, that's a bad decision. But also in that scenario, the person charging, even though they're unarmed, they are still the aggressor, right? And so the person with the weapon is not only the one that has the upper hand with the weapon, but they're also in the position of having to defend themselves. And so if you're rushing that person, you sort of have to understand that there's risks there.
Oh yeah, I don't deny that. I mean, listen, whoever those people were that died and whatever happened, they still have family that's behind, and it's still sad for those people. Are still sad that people died. It's not, we can't. To your point, whether something's justified or not is a separate issue. Whether it's sad or not, right? And so,
Right.
so those are just the things. And so, um,
Totally.
you know, on the guy that's charging him, and this is where I think Rittenhouse kind of hurt himself, was he was so prepared to answer things a certain way that he didn't want to get trapped, and so he tried to answer these very cookie cutter lines. And the DA is trying to basically say, well, you put the gun in his face and shot him, right? You didn't have to do that. And I thought there's better ways for him to Rittenhouse to kind of answer some of those questions. So I don't know. I don't presume. I don't watch enough of this trial to know what all's happened. I know the prosecutor, at least from the TV perspective, has come across as a total jerk, like this total. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm never surprised what happened with the jury. Oh, that's background. I never surprised what happened with the jury. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I do think the judge. I think the prosecutor has given enough for an appeal, at least, right? So if Rittenhouse is convicted, wow, okay, wow, going all in on the Trump card today. All right, I didn't know that. Okay, wow, wow. Wow, Crosby, I hope you're happy.
No, I think. Wait, you think the prosecution has laid the foundation for? Oh, if he gets convicted, yeah. I don't think. I mean, yes. The answer to that is yes. I'm failing to see how this guy possibly gets convicted, but yes, that's true.
You're failing to see how he gets convicted. If you were a juror in Kenosha, Wisconsin, there's a lot of pressure on you to get that conviction.
I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if I believe that.
At least in the national media presence. I don't know in locally there. Obviously, I'm not
No,
there.
but that's what I'm saying. I think that in the last 2 weeks, I think the narrative has substantively changed, and I think just in the last 72 hours, it's massively changed. I think the releasing of that FBI tape.
So what's to do with that? I'm not familiar with that. What happened?
So the FBI had drone surveillance on top of that riot, that entirety of the altercation from like the parties being very far apart. You can hear audio. You see them converging. You see it happen. I mean, it is pun intended because the video is surveillance video, but it's black and white. I mean, it is blatantly obvious what happens, and it leaves, to my opinion, and this is too strong, and I know that, but to my opinion, it doesn't leave enough ambiguity for there even to be a contemplation of charges. It is so one of the things that happens is one of the guys says something to the effect of you're going down, motherfucker, and one of the other guys says F you. And Rittenhouse is yelling like friendly, and he's yelling like and the guy charges him, and then you hear gunfire. I mean, it is black and white in terms of the chain of events that led to these people being shot. And to your point, it's tragic. It shouldn't that shouldn't happen. But it's just like if you're in the home if you're in a home invasion situation, yeah, it's tragic if a home invader gets shot and killed, I guess. But you shouldn't Don't break into the house, and it doesn't happen.
So the drone, I did see the drone footage thing, but that's the FBI's drone footage?
Mm-hmm. That's the FBI's drone footage that they did not release to the state. They sat on it until it was like, I think it was 3 days ago, 4 days ago. They sat on it.
How did they have this?
They were surveilling. So that's the other conversation that's been going on. They were surveilling all of these riots, just surveilling them. And by the way, this is not by helicopter. This isn't by.
Time. When you say they're surveilling them, you mean that they are surveilling them so they can put facial recognition technology blasted all over federal buildings and arrest those who were rioting.
That is one of the many that is one of the many fallouts of the surveillance, for sure. I'm firmly believe that there is a now register of everybody that was out there.
No, they didn't. That's why I'm being facetious. They did that for something else, but not for these. That was a joke. Sorry.
What's happening?
Nothing. That was a joke. Go ahead.
I don't know.
After
that
yeah. Well, I'm saying there was an event. There was an event this year where they did that, and they used facial recognition technology to get everyone. But last year they didn't do that. But now you're telling me that they have the ability, but they didn't do it. I just taking notes there. Sorry, just scribbling.
So sometimes someone on a podcast says something that you just like pick up and you put aside because you don't want to respond to it and you just keep going, because that is nuclear as anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that comment up and throw it out the window real quick. We're just gonna continue to roll. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen.
I'm just okay. I mean,
you're just what? You're just what?
You led with me taking Saudi money. Like, I need that out there. Okay,
I thought that wasn't even on this podcast. That was like 3 weeks ago. Are you still having PTSD
you just
about that?
brought it up with the Saudi Aramco. Just because I take Saudi money doesn't mean I'm a convict or a criminal or a bad person. I don't know why it's so controversial for you. You take Saudi oil in your car all the time, so don't start at me.
Blame Biden for that.
Well, now the facts.
Well, it's irrelevant. I mean, I don't know. It's irrelevant. I don't know.
Anyways, you were saying something about the conversation with the FBI and the pictures that's going on.
I thought I'd finish that point. No, I was just saying that. I mean, I think the evidence is there. We were talking about. You had mentioned like if he gets convicted, do I think there's a baseline for a mistrial or a retrial? And I absolutely do. But I'm still sort of. I don't see a conviction here. I don't see how you get there.
I'm still
especially.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, especially with how the prosecution has handled this, but
I'm still caught up on the fact that the FBI was at all those riots last year.
Didn't do anything. Are you? Are you actually though?
It's one of those things where, God,
Ryan,
how deep in the hole do we want to go?
Ryan, when they have marches and parades around like anywhere around Baltimore, DC, etc. on like a normal Saturday, they have security standing outside all of the major DC landmarks, including one of the buildings that has been referenced a bunch recently. I won't name. On the certain day where there were. Sure, let's go with that. On a certain day when the entirety of Congress was populating said building, there was a willful decision to just like, security. Why is that necessary? Oh, you mean there's supposed to be a march and there's supposed to be a march outside on that day? Why would we need to go protect that building? Okay, so yeah, yeah. I'll leave it at that. That was podcast prep, by the way.
America. What's that? I'm sorry.
That was podcast. No, nothing. Was that the Lee Winwood version or?
Wow. Clay's calling in. Is he calling? He's not.
Is he calling on the bat line?
No, he's not calling the bat line. So I don't know if he's actually calling for the show or he's just calling. He texted me to pick trick or treat. Okay, Clay, I'm going to bust on you for a second here, dude. I'm going to bust on you for a second. He texted me on the bat line on Halloween, wanting me to come meeting up with him during said Halloween for trick or treating because he was in town. I text him back. The dude ghosts me. Doesn't even show up. Now he calls me on my personal cell. I don't know. Is he just randomly calling me? Wait, hold on. Hold, please. 1 second. 1 second. Yep. I take that. I take that back. He did call the bat line. My phone's jacked up. Wait. No.
Unbelievable.
He's calling and hanging.
Unbelievable. You see that, Clay? You see that, Clay? You're just trying to be a part of the show, and Ryan's
No,
throwing
he's
shade.
calling
You
and
see
hanging
that?
up on the bat line. He called twice and hung up. You got to call the bat line, Clay.
Maybe you just need to learn how to use the bat line. Too soon. Too on the nose. Where is the emoji, Ryan? Why don't you? What's the on air version of the emoji?
Mm.
So we talked
Mm.
about something we were going to talk about on the podcast today. Haven't gotten into it. 31 minutes in. Are we ready to pivot? Can we rant on something else now?
You said we're going to. Hold
We
on. Let's
talked
try.
about this.
Okay, let me call Clay. Let me call Clay. He's trying to call. Hold on. What's happening here?
Well, one of us is trying to have a podcast. The other one can't work a phone.
Well, you and the facts today, dude. All right, I've had enough of you and your facts.
I don't know. I mean, you got me a little fired up with the whole pre-show nonsense. So I don't know what to expect at this point. To be honest with you.
Oh my
What are
gosh.
you doing here?
I don't know. I'm trying to. The number's gone.
Had to go for a little wardrobe change.
Whoa, no, that's a good looking hat. Okay. The Google Voice number is gone. I think it's like lost the number or something.
Did you delete it?
Don't at me. See, I want an Oilers hat, but my head's too dang big. It's a depressing thing. There's
What's
someone
that even
talking.
mean? This is the snapback.
Someone you ain't seen this melon. Someone's talking about the trial.
Oh, Mason, you've missed it unless you've been listening for the last few minutes. So actually, Mason, if you're still listening and you have some perspective here, because if you're watching it, I mean, is Ryan? Do we know? Is this like? Are we in the middle? Are we like towards the end? Do we know where where we are in the case?
Hello.
Whoa, that was loud.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, something jacked up on my end.
Yeah, every time I call the bat line, it says Google subscribers not available.
Yeah, something got jacked up. Hey, yeah, me and you got.
Have you not seen the drone footage above your house?
Listen, why you got to bring up the FBI agent 2 doors down?
Clay,
okay?
Clay. I was gonna say he lives next to the FBI.
Footage?
I mean,
Here's y'all seen what's the movie The Departed? Like this is the big plot twist. I am the mole for the FBI. Like that's how this turns out, right?
I mean, when you're suspicious, lefty on the other side, nobody pays attention to that. I mean, because he's on the side of the government that you're supposed to be on evidently right now. He's probably shaking his head.
Clay, I don't think you've been watching the show today.
He put up a "Let's Go Brandon."
hear
He put up a "Let's Go Brandon" thing on the on the show today.
I don't think you've been watching the show today.
Man,
Just saying.
We may have to. I can't hear him.
He can't hear you. You're not missing anything. Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Ben's muted now. Go ahead, Clay, with your insightful comments.
I was just reaching out. Didn't see the bat line number up there anymore, so I tried it first. But I'm with Ben. I don't think that the only way that kid gets convicted is if the jurors fall to the peer pressure because they don't want the town to burn again. That's the only way he gets convicted. Not because it's right, because they don't want to have another riot. That's the rioters, they say, are already there waiting.
See,
to
that's
do
what.
it.
That,
I'm sorry.
that was my take. No, that's my take. That's not Ben's
Right.
take. Ben said he doesn't believe that.
Ben said he doesn't think the kid's going to get convicted, and I mean, if they do it by the law and by how you're supposed to do it, he won't get convicted. If they do it just to appease the masses, then he's going to get screwed, and then they'll. But either way it goes, whether they find him guilty or not, those people are probably going to riot anyway.
Well, I mean, that's it's one of those things to where when I look at the comments on the trial, like I go to like a YouTube channel and I'll see the comments. It's so crazy how people. Wow, Ben, you're putting that up there. It's so crazy how people view things. Like some people will say, "Oh my gosh, this judge is a hack. this guy, they're obviously trying to let him off, and we've kind of gotten to a spot to where we can't even agree on what the law is, and that's a weird spot to be in, because what the prosecutor was doing is clear violations of the Fifth Amendment and clear stuff that the courts have ruled on.
The prosecutor is already trying to figure out a way to get declared a mistrial anyway.
Yeah, that's what
and
we're
I
saying
know they
earlier
were,
on.
I guess, they were slapped on the hand earlier today or yesterday about that from the judge.
Yeah, so what happened yesterday was they got tuned up because they were violating. They made a couple comments about his remaining silent, and so you can't do that, and so that's what got him in trouble.
The only thing that I found, I mean, yeah, the kid shot somebody, but it wasn't self-defense. The biggest thing I find wrong with it is that he was dumb enough to go out there with a weapon, knowing what was going on. I mean, that's the biggest thing that he did wrong, was just be completely stupid and go over there. I mean, there was no reason or any reason for him to be there, especially with what was going on, and toting an AR-15. That's the biggest problem he had, was showing up to a place he should have never been at.
I agree with that, and that's what makes it hard. Is that he shouldn't? That to me, that's kind of where the conflict comes in. Is that he really had not a lot of business to be there, and so
no.
But he was.
And I mean,
hold on, Ben. Hold on, Ben. Come on, Ben.
Hold
on, Ben. Unmute yourself. You're making faces at us. Let's hear what you got to say. What Ben likes stand your ground laws. Okay, that's good to know. Go ahead, Clay.
If it's hold on. This
is
not a personal.
17, where were his parents letting him go out like this anyway?
Yeah, I wanted the same thing. Like, why? Yeah, my kid would not be going out with the AR-15 to go defend Bob's property lot. That's just not happening. It's
well, under 18, they're not going to go anywhere without me with it anyway.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I'd have had to slap the stupid out of my kid for that.
Yeah. So there's
Y'all are sounding awfully lefty.
Wow. Okay.
Well, like I said, I can't hear Ben, so I'll get off here. But I said I was calling in, checking in again.
Yeah, we'll get the bat line fixed for next week. So, hey, why'd you ghost me on Halloween since I got you on here?
I didn't ghost you. I told you we were going to go. We were taking the kids trick or treating.
I know, and I said, let me know. You never got back to me. That was it. You just never told me.
I never got a deal that said let me know. You never responded back after I said that. So I was like, well, he's doing something else.
Hold please.
Oh, look, Ryan's trying to let the facts. What do you know?
Well, okay. I said we'll be in Pecan tonight. What address? And then you said we're heading to take the kids trick or treating. So I was like, okay, well, okay. I thought you were gonna let me know, but whatever. We waited all night. Kids cried. They wanted to meet Clay, but they didn't.
Yeah. So. Well, whatever. You were probably over there snoozing by 9 o'clock anyway.
Listen, I'm old. Okay, I'm old. Leave me alone.
I know.
So, all right, brother. Well, thanks for calling.
Hey, when are you supposed to be doing your boxing match or whatever for the $500,000 or whatever it is?
Me and Ben? Oh God, that wouldn't. I'd have to pay someone to let me be box Ben, because that wouldn't like it. I had to buy the commission, the promoter.
And then when are y'all doing y'all contest on the selling? When are we supposed to do that?
That's okay. I'm glad you brought that up. We talked about that bringing the closers today. That starts January 1. So is your crew gonna get in on this deal?
I'll put it out there and ask them, and I'll get back to you on it.
All right, there you go.
So what are the deals on it? What are the rules or the regulations or whatever?
We're teasing that out right now. So we will
put something.
What? Did we lose you? I think.
No, I'm here.
I said, yeah, we're teasing that out. So if you listen to Bringing the Closers when it comes out, we talk about there or something. So that's when you could find it.
Okay.
All right, brother. Talk soon. Have a good week, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
So Ben, you can come back in now. It's good to have you back on the show.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Hey.
What's going on?
Yeah, we've got 7 minutes left, so let's get her done. That's also, listen, this is not an Oilers hat. This is a Roughnecks hat.
Wait, what's happening?
It's the Houston Roughnecks from the XFL.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I got another one. Hold on.
Are we playing? We're playing hat roulette. Hold on. I can play that too.
This is the one I really liked.
How about this is a throwback? Oh, I like that. That's actually.
I can't see that. What's it say? Oh, Houston Rockets. Yeah. I mean, if you like the Rockets, which I don't, so.
What do you have against the Rockets?
Humanity. See, I can't wear these. My head's too big. Look, it like hurts my head. God.
What do you wear? Like a 7 5/8?
Listen, this is. Let me show you. This is hurting my head. That's one snap. Okay, it crushes my head. I'm like an 8 and a half.
Is it a kid's hat? No, you're not.
No, dude, a 7 5/8 won't fit my head. This is gargantuan. You don't realize this is huge. Okay, here's a 32-ounce bottle. Okay, I mean it's. This is a 21-ounce bottle. Like it's just. I got a big melon, unfortunately.
There's a lot going on up there. There's a lot to store.
That there is. I have to go and buy like the 3X hat to fit comfortably.
Well, I mean, at least it doubles as like a fishing net if you're in the boat. I mean, I know you
Yes.
don't ever have the occasion to like use it, but I mean, if you did,
If I did.
you could. I mean, you could give it to Drew. Like, he's gonna need it more often.
We're about done? Music time? We good?
Just to be clear, I was telling you that Drew is better at fishing than you are. Just
Oh, is that
I
what
wanted
you
to make
meant?
sure.
Is that what
Yeah,
you meant?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that was abundantly clear.
I didn't catch that. So Drew's
No?
better than.
There's a long list, actually. I mean, Drew is on the list, but there is a long list.
How far down are we gonna go?
Well, some of the names on the list like bring up some sore subjects, and so we won't go through the list. There's photographic evidence of the list to a degree, so we'll let the record just
Wow.
speak for itself.
Wow.
We were going to talk about the bet, were we? Is that what we're wrapping up? Is that what's happening here?
Whatever you want to talk about, because apparently me bringing up the FBI was. God, why is this like right down my face?
So what I was going to talk about before. Clay Gamble, text message, 3:54 p.m. today, just now. Tell Barry Bonds to stay off the HGH.
Oh, I wish that were the case.
Well played.
I've got a large head.
Well played, Clay. Well played. No, I think I sent you something yesterday, the day before, like in one of those audio messages, and I was talking about how I just want to take a minute to rant and rave about how absurd it is that we have companies out here in the tech space, in the software space, in the kind of in the tech and software space that are literally trillion-dollar valuation companies, and they are getting absolutely destroyed when it comes to execution and software ubiquity, etc., with by like startups and these groups that are brand new. And it's infuriating that a company like Microsoft can't put out an email service that works well, that actually functions. I mean, I don't know if anyone has used Outlook, but Outlook it's the bane of my existence, if you can't tell already. But I mean, it is.
This isn't 1997, but go ahead.
It is god awful. I don't know what that means. Let me finish my rant though. I mean, you have Hulu. I don't know if anyone has watched Hulu, but for some reason Hulu can't figure out the programming so that if you like watch a show and then you go back and you watch the same show, when you go back and you watch it the second time, the algorithm or the software will start each episode at the end credits. And you postulated that was like on purpose for some reason or something. I think that's. I guess ostensibly it has to be on purpose, because if it's by accident, that's a whole nother level. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but this is interesting. Actually, No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna go there. Won't do it. Thank you. What is? Oh, is this? Is this keep it rolling? Oh, are you the director now? Is that what's happening? I'm gonna start calling you Quentin. Um, no, it's fascinating to me how we found ourselves in that situation where these companies that have ostensibly like bottomless buckets for R&D and should be incentivized to build the best product, it's garbage. I mean, it's literal, and I'm not talking about it's like barely functional. I mean, it is hot garbage. And like you and I were talking yesterday, or maybe even this morning, how it's tough to find, for some people like you and I, to have like a platform that is sort of all encompassing of CRM and some of the other action items, etc. To find something that is actually functional and works is like it's not even needle in a haystack. It just doesn't exist. And so, I mean, how have we found ourselves in 2021 with all of the technology and everything else at our disposal? We can't even put like baseline software together. That's my rant. Thoughts?
Yeah. So I had a good friend of mine the other day talk about China and how they kind of blew past us or blew past where they were in technology. And the key for them was they didn't either have legacy systems or they didn't hold on to legacy systems. So the reason that Microsoft sucks is because they're a legacy system and they want to hold on to their legacy profile. And so they need you to be stuck with what you're doing. And so they don't want it to work with Google or to whomever or to whatever. They want you in their ecosystem. And so these new startups, well, they're nimble. They don't care about that stuff. And so they can take on these big groups and make a better product because they have no legacy, right? And so what you're going to see in emerging markets is they will pass us or catch us a lot faster in some areas because they don't have the legacy infrastructure that people are trying to preserve. And I'll give you one quick, real tangible example. I'm trying to get my real estate license right now. I've had it before. I'm getting it again. I've never had it in Texas, but I've had it in Louisiana. So I'm getting in Texas. And that's all legacy systems. Like that's 100% legacy systems. And what I mean by that is if you said, hey, to sell real estate in Texas, what would you do? You wouldn't do what we're doing. It's a terrible draconian system that's made just to waste time, money, and effort. And it doesn't even tell you how to make a dollar, really. It's just most of the rules that you learn are irrelevant. Like longhand, how to do loan amortizations, the definition of a client, and some of that stuff, you're like, okay, well, I can understand maybe learning the definition of a client, kinda, but like really, if they sign a listing agreement, they're a client. Like that's it. Like that, like all this other stuff is peripheral. And so part of what we're seeing, you're talking about is there's these legacy companies that have legacy software or infrastructure, and they want to keep you on it, and that's why they are struggling. You're muted, but which is probably better that way.
But if they want to, by the way, you say that like every single time.
What?
Every single time that I'm on mute and I like start saying something, every single time you say, "Hey, you're on mute." It's probably better that way. You should probably come up with like something else to say.
We should probably stop. Okay, every time you mute yourself, you talk every single time, and so you should probably just learn to unmute yourself.
So I think the problem with that thought process is
what else could it be?
But if you have a legacy software and your goal is to keep the person on the platform, isn't that the way that you get to the place where you want the best software to be available and you
they don't have to have the bit
no
see they don't have to have so like these small startups are they have a very small sliver, right? A calendar app or a maybe a scheduling app like Calendly. They have a very small sliver. Microsoft wants you in their whole system. They want you for Word, for Outlook, for Teams, for all their stuff. And so all their stuff is not going to be great because that's just not, no company's going to do great across the board, but they need you in there. And so they'll suck you in with one thing or two things, and then the rest of the stuff is garbage. And so, but that's not, I'll give you an example. Turn on people talking about EA Sports Madden football for PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And they will destroy the game. And it's because people will go buy the Madden every year. Okay? Because that's right. That's the way to get a football game is by playing Madden. And so EA Sports should be incentivized to make the best game possible, but they're not. And so they don't. Microsoft doesn't need. Microsoft has so much.
That's a weird example. I think Madden is exactly the opposite. I think that they do a fantastic job of continuing to make small iterative changes that improve the product. I think they're like the counter example.
No, Madden.
If you look at like Madden 2005 to Madden 2021, have you played Madden recently? Like all the different like hit stick and all. I mean, all of the different like modular changes and whatever. You don't think all of that sort of granular control over the entire process is like the definition of iterative improvement?
There's so many glitches in the gameplay; it's ridiculous. Like so, like when Drew and I played, we'll score a touchdown, and so like have the drive time, have it in seconds, like 10,477 seconds.
But would you rather be playing like Tecmo Bowl type graphics, or playing with graphics that sometimes lag a little bit because they're and also I would imagine that's probably sometimes that's due to like latency on your internet, not even the actual like
we're playing
game.
Against each other in the room. We don't play online. There's no latency. It's a CD.
So are you making the point that like video games haven't made like leaps and bounds
video games,
in terms of
Madden?
I'm fascinated by that. I don't agree.
Go. Like, there's a whole subculture that hates Madden. You should go look into it. Like, I'm serious. Like, go look it up. Especially like the new game. Go check it out. So, all right, we're up against the clock. We gotta go. Music done. Hey Ben, you're not on mute, and it sounds lovely. How about them apples?
Ryan, it's been something. It's been something.
What about this look right here? You like this?
You and your big ass noggin. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
It's on the nose. That's on the nose. Okay. The noggin is on the nose. In case you're wondering.
It's been real.
And hey, the glasses. Fun. Go no go.
It's been real fun. I like it. I mean, inside you look like something.
They're prescription. They're prescription. This isn't the Casey Neistat. I'm not pulling out the Casey Neistat. Pull the ripcord. Pull the ripcord. Pull the ripcord.
Unbelievable.
Go watch Madden videos.
Let's go ahead and just throw that up there as we sign off.